Think about the oldest creeping anxiety in the human mind. What happens to us after we die, especially if we've lived a life of wrongdoing? In the West, we have a specific image burned into our collective consciousness, a realm of pitchforks and permanent damnation, a fiery underworld shaped by centuries of biblical interpretation and literature like Dante's Inferno. But when you look across religions separated by thousands of miles and thousands of years, you find that this fiery finality is just one specific interpretation of the debt we owe. Almost every culture agrees that the universe keeps a score. How that score is settled, however, reveals different philosophies about human nature and cosmic justice. Some systems are built to inflict ultimate, unchangeable consequences. Others function as a mechanism for temporary spiritual purification. To understand how humanity views the afterlife, we have to look past where wrongdoers are sent and start asking why they are suffering in the first place. First, there is the final verdict model, the belief that a single earthly life leads to a permanent, unchangeable destination. Traditional Christian theology often operates in this space. A soul's ultimate fate rests on a combination of earthly actions and faith, resulting in either salvation or eternal separation from God following a divine judgment. Islamic teaching also features a dual afterlife, culminating in Yawm el-Qiyamah, the Day of Judgment. Here, righteous actions and wrongdoings are meticulously weighed to determine a soul's fate. If the scale tips wrong, the destination is Jahannam. This realm is divided into descending levels, calibrating consequences to the specific severity of a person's actions. Yet even within these strict parameters, Islamic theology emphasizes mercy. Tradition holds that the Prophet Muhammad intercedes for believers, allowing leniency to soften the final blow. In these traditions, the architecture of justice is severe by design, built to separate the righteous from the unrepentant for good. But for other cultures, the afterlife isn't a permanent prison. It functions more like a spiritual washing machine. Traditional Jewish thought describes a place called Gehinnom. Instead of focusing on eternal torment, this process is understood as a necessary cycle of purification. For most souls, this process has a strict time limit. The cleansing is often capped at 12 months, after which the soul moves on. Catholicism shares a similar mechanic with purgatory, a temporary state of refinement for souls who aren't condemned, but simply aren't yet ready for heaven. In this framework, the fire is there to burn away the sin, preparing the soul to move forward. The structure of a single, finite life disappears entirely in Eastern traditions like Hinduism and Buddhism, where the soul cycles through many lifetimes. Hindu texts outline 21 narakas, while Buddhist cosmologies map 136 distinct realms. This bureaucracy operates on poetic justice. Souls directly experience the exact suffering they once inflicted. This cosmic debt isn't permanent. Once repaid, the soul is reborn. Then there are systems like ancient Egypt, where the consequence for a life of wrongdoing was neither torment nor rebirth, but the prospect of having your soul cease to exist completely. For billions of people across history, hell is never a final destination. It is a painful, temporary way station in the endless cycle of the universe balancing its books. We have eternal final judgments, 12-month spiritual wash cycles, hundreds of karmic way stations, and the threat of non-existence. The cultures that developed these ideas were geographically isolated from one another for most of human history. Despite having zero contact and building completely different architectures for the underworld, these civilizations independently landed on a similar conviction, that the universe keeps a tally. The common denominator uniting world religions is the belief that the afterlife functions as a place of accounting. This shared instinct across humanity suggests that our earthly actions have weight, and the universe eventually demands that we face them. Whether it is framed as a permanent punishment, a merciful purification, or a karmic debt, every major tradition agrees that how we treat each other today matters, echoing far beyond this life.